Hello, Fracamacio. Today we're going to be talking about some exclusives from the House of Christian Dior, part of their newer releases. We're going to be talking about Purple Oud and we're going to be talking about Santal Noir. These are exclusives, so I'm going to try my best to explain them so that you can decide if it's worth pursuing or not. Before you even try to blind buy them, I think through the Facebook group, sometimes you can find decants, so the best route would be to try to sample it before you decide to buy. These were both blind buys. One clearly was a flop for me, total waste of money. Well, not total waste of money, but if I had sampled it before, I don't think I would have gone for a full bottle. I think you know which one by the levels here. Now, before I jump into the review, I want to touch a little bit on the state of the house. For people that are expecting a continuation from the previous creative, bolder, more interesting offerings, I think they're breaking from that. They're targeting, to my knowledge, a different audience or demographic here because the scents are much cleaner, easy to wear, nothing daring or nothing creative from the ones that I've tried. So I think the person that is in charge of the release portfolio, or the people that are in charge of the product portfolio, however you call them in the fragrance industry, I think that board or the person making the decision has changed because of that clean cut from what they used to release before. Now it's just I don't want to say boring, but they're easy to wear, more accessible, simple, and then clean smelling. And then now with how many releases they've done in such a short amount of time, they're definitely testing the market. They even have 40 ml sizes now. They're cleaning out some of the previous releases. I think Dior Leather Oud is going away. Mitza, well, is going away, now is available, but you can only find in one of the shops in Paris, and things like that makes me believe that the people that are in charge of managing the releases or the product releases have changed. Although I'm skeptical about the new direction, I did enjoy some of the newer releases. For example, Terra Bella is a clean, crisp summer scent. It can be a signature scent, dumb rich, smells really nice. Sakura, limited in use. I do use it in bed and is my cuddle scent with my partner, so I really like that one. But then out of the newest releases though, I think the one that stands out, that kind of follows the previous strand where they were a little bit more creative, is Santal Noir. Santal Noir is the one blind buy that did not work out for me, not because the fragrance is bad, but because of the intensity of the sweetness, and I'm going to be touching on that. Now, although it does not fit my taste because of the sweetness, if you're somebody who loves powerful fragrances, beast mode fragrances, you love your rose, you love your ambers, and you're not stuck on getting a sandalwood accord out of Santal Noir, you're gonna love this one. It is an amazing fragrance in terms of performance and how the notes are blended. It's just the intensity of the sweetness that does not work for me. But if you fall in that category that I just described, you might as well try this one because I think you're gonna be blown away. Now let's start with the one that did not work for me. So flop blind buy there. I don't recommend blind buys. It is Santal Noir, and then you might be wondering why it's so low. The reason is that I did split this one and I decided to keep a little bit for myself. I think even this one, this amount of juice is just too much for me. I don't see myself reaching out for this one a lot because of, like I said, the sweetness in this. 2 sprays and I'm set for the whole day. If you spray this on your clothes, the next day you pick up the same clothes, you're gonna smell it clear. It's not gonna be something that is faint, you're gonna smell it. While I was testing this, it did remind me of a lot of other fragrances. I did have fun and I tried to layer the different fragrances that it did remind me of, but it wasn't quite close. The intensity of the sweetness, the rose, the amber, it did not quite make it, but I'm going to show you the ones that it did remind me of. So in fun, what I ended up layering was 1 spray of Santal Royale, waited for 30 minutes to dry, minus the harsh opening here. I added 1 spray of Oud Ispahan because of the rose aspect. For the sweetness, I added 4 sprays of Fève Délicieuse, and then for the amber quality and the rose quality, I added Ombre Nuit as well. It ended up giving me something similar, but not quite as intense, rosy and ambery as what I got out of Santal Noir. Also, one of my friends did mention that he got resemblances from Songe d'un Bois d'été. I can see that in the dry down when the rose picks up, but the opening is a little bit more animalic than what I get out of Santal Noir. I don't get animalic facets from Santal Noir. Now on to what Santal Noir smells like. On my skin, I get two main players throughout the wearing the fragrance. Is going to be about the rose, and it's going to be about the amber, supported in different stages by other elements. But mainly to my nose and on my skin is a deep, lush red rose and amber, sweet amber throughout the wearing the fragrance. In the first 2 to 3 hours is supported by that sweet amaretto liquor-like facet that I described, being super sweet. You get a boozy element to it. So imagine deep red rose petals, and then you dip it in viscous sweet amber that is infused with a boozy amaretto liquor-like facet. The sweetness is just too much for me to bear for the first 2 to 3 hours. As it progresses though, the sweetness is going to tone down. It's going to give a chance for the sandalwood to develop and show a little bit, but it's still going to be an underlying note. The main player is going to be your rose and amber with an underlying sandalwood accord. Natural about the sandalwood is going to be a sandalwood along the lines of Santal Royal by Guerlain, or if you haven't tried this one, think of the Santal Noir like accord by Killian Sacred Wood. That's pretty much it, and is understated in this fragrance. You get it in the dry down, but not as a main player. That's pretty much what I get out of the fragrance. So deep red rose, sweet amber, amaretto, sweet liquor like facet to it, amped up sweetness there, and then drying down gradually. The sweetness is going to tone down, release a little bit of the sandalwood aspect, which is a dry sandalwood synthetic replacer here. It's not going to be lactonic per se. I think it's a fantastic concoction, but the sweetness is just overwhelming and overshadowing the sandalwood here. Like I said, if you're expecting sandalwood, you might not like this one, you might be disappointed. But if you don't mind sweet rose, amber, and a little bit of underlying sandalwood that might be playing peekaboo in the dry down, you might really enjoy this one, and performance is just outstanding. So obviously this one did not work out for me because of the intensity of the sweetness. If you don't like that, but you like the construct of it, you like your sandalwood and rose accord, I would say consider Serge Lutens Santal Majuscule. This one has rose, has a beautiful lactonic sandalwood accord, has some gourmand facets to it. That kind of reminded me of the gourmand facet in Jeu de Peau, but toned down. So if you're looking for sandalwood, the idea of Santal Noir, sandalwood, rose, cocoa, with some lactonic, creamy sandalwood facet, I would say try Santal Majuscule by Serge Lutens. So Santal Noir is a great release, but it has to fit your taste because of how powerful it is. It's going to be a hate or love it. Next, we're looking at Purple Oud, which is another blind buy. To be honest, when I first received this, the anticipation wasn't met. I was expecting something creative, something bold, something out there, and I didn't get that. So the first time I tried this, I almost got rid of it. I almost sold it, but I ended up trying it a couple of times and ended up loving it. The creativity factor is there. The versatility factor is also there. Even though it's not bold, I ended up liking it. If you look at the description on their site for Purple Oud and Santal Noir, I think they actually captured what they were trying to deliver. It's just a matter of preference or taste. And then they did do that marvelously with Purple Oud here. When you look at the description, it does much what they were trying to deliver. It's just my anticipation or my perceived set of what it will smell like wasn't met at the first sniff. That's why I was kind of disappointed in the beginning, but the more I wear it, the more I love it. So onto the creative aspect. This one on my skin is a beautiful contrast between the oud and a set of notes that are kind of happy, not too serious. So at the top for the first 2-3 hours, I get orange and I get a cool, slightly spicy pink pepper along with a slight hint of leatheriness coming from the saffron. And then that pair is contrasted with the oud. Here the oud is not skanky, it's more of a clean, refined type of oud. It comes off balsamic, woody with some vetiver facet-like tones. Now this, when I first tried it too, it did remind me of synthetic compound made by Firmenich called 1076-0E, like a oud replacer accord that they created. That opens balsamic and dries with vetiver-like facets. And I do get that here as the same type of oud that is used in Purple Oud. at that point I was like, what the heck do I need a full bottle of this for, since it reminded me of that synthetic compound. But the more I wore it, the balance that they brought in, the contrast and all that, I ended up just keeping it because I love the composition and how it comes off as. So essentially it's going to be the combination of that balsamic, woody, vetiver-like facet of oud paired with that orange, cool, spicy effect from the pink pepper and a light leathery undertone from the saffron. And as it dries down, that contrasting effect that I love in the opening is going to go away. So the orange, the pink pepper, and then the saffron is going to tone down, and it's going to be mainly that oud core, balsamic, non-skanky, woody with vetiver-like facet. But I also get the addition of something that is light, clean, citrusy, incensey accord that helps with the oud or the vetiver facet of the oud, not in a smoky way, more of a clean, citrusy, incensey type of clean way that I get out of this. And that's pretty much what I get out of the fragrance. Not overly complex, but it's beautifully done. The balance is well done here. Now, to clear things up, I've been asked several times when I was posting Purple Oud as my scent of the day if it reminded me of Oud Ispahan. These two are completely different. Oud Ispahan, 2 sprays done, rose oud combo, animalic. That's a beast there. Purple Oud, like I've described, is much more approachable, really versatile, much of a cleaner oud, nothing skanky about it, and then I don't get any rose out of Purple Oud. So those are the differences. They're not similar. On to versatility, that's where this one shines as well. It comes off as a clean, refined, elegant oud, something that is light, something that is not too heavy or bold. So something that you can wear actually during the summer that is going to be a break from your typical citrusy summer type of fragrances. Along with that, it is not bold, so you can wear it in any type of scenario. So it's really versatile. Performance on Purple Oud is actually good, not as beastly as Santal Noir, but I easily get between 7 and 8 hours of longevity. Projection is this soft scent bubble around you for the first 3 to 4 hours, and after that it becomes a skin scent, but then it's still perceptible. So overall, I would say it is a good performer. My final verdict on Purple Oud is that it is a standout fragrance out of the newer releases. So glad to have this one on my collection. I can't wait to use it more during summer. Now, if you've tried Purple Oud or Santal Noir, let me know what you think of them. If you've not tried them, but you've tried the newer releases that are available in the US, let me know if you're turned off after trying those to even go for the exclusives. Again, thank you for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and take care. Bye.